this class, we will be discussing two parameters. One is emission and another one is ambient standards. So there are similar words. Have you heard this emission? E-M-I-S-S-I-O-N. This is one word. Another word is there. Emission. I-M-M-I-S-S-I-O-N. Emission and emission. Have you heard this terminology? Both seems to be similar, but both are different. Generally, air is a parameter where you have nitrogen of 70+%. We have atmosphere, isn't it? Earth has some atmosphere, Earth has some gases around us. Now, what is normal atmosphere is 99% contents are there in atmosphere of nitrogen and oxygen only. Another 1% is helium. It might be carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide. Rest of the parameters should be 1%. This is called ambient air. We can sustain our life only in ambient air. Now, what do you mean by emission is, emissions are carbon dioxide. Who is exhausting carbon dioxide? Vehicles. Industries exhaust carbon dioxide. Then volcanoes. Have you seen during any volcano, there will be large gases are evolved. So these comes under emissions. So emissions are harmful to the environment. If the environment consists 1% other elements, these harmful elements will pollute the ambient system. So that is the difference between emission and ambience. One of the example I have given here, what is that? Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is called air or emission? Emission. That is what today's class. Air is not an emission. Natural state. Next thing is types of pollution. Where we get these emissions are due to transport, we get emission. Due to industry, due to heating. We heat many things, fossil fuels, wood, those things we create emission. Poor agricultural practice, that are chemicals, pesticides we are using. Due to that, the emissions might differ. And finally, waste treatment. Now, what does this content mean for humans and ecosystem? It should not impact humans and ecosystem. This is what I said. There are two similar parameters. What are they? One is emission and another one is called what? Emission. Now, in this component, you will better understand. These are pollution, emission. Where are the places you get emission? Volcanoes. Natural state, you get this kind of gases. And livestock. What do you mean by livestock? Goat, cow, these are all called livestock. And due to that also emissions will be there. Fertilizers. We use artificial fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, that also creates pollution due to emission. Oil and gas. Stationaries or industries, motors and trucks. Can you see number of motors, ways of transportation, rails, road, etc. So these are the modes of emission. Can you see the example of emission and emission here? Who is emitting here? Car emits what? Carbon dioxide. Who emits? Who intake that? Humans. That is the difference between emission and emission. Else human can emit, or otherwise does plants also emit? Yes, plants transpires. Transpiration is happening, no? How does transpiration happens? It takes all the CO2. If industries are increasing, you can see the industrial gas is an example of what? Emission. Now who emits that? Plants. Plant kingdom takes that and it is called emission. If too much emissions are there, if emissions are not up to the mark, then the pollution will create harm to the society. So that is what highlighted here. There should be a standard. What is today's class is? The emission should have standard. If we are keep on emitting by using industry and by vehicular traffic, if we are emitting too much, environment gets polluted. The emission standard will protect whom? Will protect humans. If we don't have standards, we are keep on increasing the emission. What happens? It affects the humans. Next, it affects the animals and other beings. Now, have you heard about car engines? Currently, what is the car engine stage? Have you heard about different stages? BS6 engine, BS4 engines are there. Now currently, if you buy any vehicles, even it might be in Maruti, might be in Hyundai, whatever. If they are selling the vehicle in India, they have an engine. That engine has one standard. That standard is controlled by whom? Do you know that? Certain engines they will not allow to launch the vehicle. Yearly vehicles will be launching, yes or no? If it might be car, it might be two-wheeler. Yearly these vehicles will launch. During that launch, if you are keenly interested, you will be knowing BS6 engine, BS4 engine, they will say. What do you mean by that is, these engine stages are given by Central Pollution Control Board. In India, that is the primary body for pollution control. They set some standard. Your engine should have this much emission. That is called Bharat stage. BS is called what? Bharat stage. Europeans also have stages. Euro 6 engine, Euro 4 engine, like that they have some standard. So those standards are kept by Central Pollution Control Board in order to what? Standardize the emission. These pollution control board are keeping the norms. So that is what, if it is not coming under norms, it will be harmful for protecting the human life. Different region have different standard. This is what I said. In India, they will call BS engine. In European countries, they will call Euro 6 engine, Euro 4 engine, like that. It will be similar. This is what I would like to differentiate emission and emission. I hope you are clear with this. There should be a regulatory source, and for all, not only for vehicles, for industries also. Does all the vehicle have pollution certificate? If any sergeant catches your vehicle, what are all the things he will ask? First one, he will ask license, RC. If you are not caught, he will ask where is pollution certificate. Yes or no? If you have a vehicle, they ask certificate. Nearby the petrol bunk, some small shop will be there. They have some parameters. They will keep a pipe in your exhaust system. Then they will start the engine. Then they will run. They will give the pollution certificate for you. This is valid for 1 year. These people will come to an industry. If you have vehicle, they will come to you. If you have an industry, they will come with where is the pollution certificate. For an industry you should have. If you are manufacturing something, that certificate is being called as standard. The certain standards you should meet. Now, what are the standard for emission? In right hand side, these data are emission standards. If you are running any industry, if you are running, imagine a cement industry, you are the owner of India Cement. That industry could have been fined if they are not having the standards. If you are having any distilleries is what? Alcohol. What are the parameters they will check for emission? First one is sulfur dioxide. This chemical should not be beyond the limit. Sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, particulate matter. They say PM. PM is called what? Particulate matter. Particulate matter of 2.5, 10. These standards are available in Pollution Control Board website, and this is a statistics. Today's standard will not be the tomorrow's standard. This is an example for that. In the year of 2005, they had one standard. This is indicated in yellow color. Now another thing is indicated in blue color. What is that? This is the pollution standard of 2021. Pollution standard will be keep on changing. Can your car AC is running but there is no enough cooling? What will you do? Or in your house, gas you have to refill. Another thing, ambient air. So what I have said, emission is polluting. What does ambient mean? Atmospheric air. Atmosphere has how much? 78% of nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and another 1%. 78 plus 21 is 99%. Only 1%, rest of the 1% consists of what? Carbon, helium, methane, argon, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, etc. Whatever is there. If that 1% is increased, then what will get damaged? Ambient air will get damaged. So that is why we are concentrated on what are those gases? Carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, sulfuric acid, etc. These are all should be how much percentage in atmosphere? Less than 1%. It should not go beyond that. Now, how these things are monitored? Have you seen this kind of equipment placed somewhere? In Bangalore they have placed silk board. That office you have this kind of equipment. Have you seen? This is an air monitoring instrument. Daily it monitors. It monitors and it sends the report to the Central Pollution Control Board. Daily, real time you can check it. Now, if your environment is safe, you don't need to monitor daily. For 6 months, 2 times you can monitor and that reading is enough. If your environment is too much polluted, example Delhi region are too much polluted. So there weekly twice continuous monitoring has to be taken. Air quality monitoring. So it has to be monitored frequently for 24 hours sampling. So the sample should be taken how many hours? 24 hours you should take sample. So monthly sample can be taken if you are in a safer zone. Half yearly sample should be taken if you are in a very safe zone. If you are in harsh zone, if the value exceeds, air quality is exceeding, then you have to take twice a week. You have to take a air quality monitoring stations. In Bangalore you have numerous stations. This is general emission standard which is being given in part D. There are 4 parts, part A, B, C, which are for water they have given some standards, but for air they have given these standards. This has been given in Pollution Control Board. PM, particulate matter, Bharat Stage Emission Standard, that is called BS. This is applicable for all engines, and this standard particularly deals on ignition engine, spark engine equipments including for motor vehicles. Now, this is being given from Central Pollution Control Board. This I have already mentioned, and this standard is being set from referring the European countries. So the European countries were the first of people who introduced this kind of standards for engine. They have started in which year? In 2000. Before 2000, if any vehicles are launched, they don't have BS engines. They were simply a engine. Whatever pollution it can occur, nobody is going to care or control that. But after 2000 only, first introduced in European regulations, then progressively Indians also used that. Currently in April 2017, BS4 engine came into existence in industries. Have you purchased vehicle after 2017? Anyone? Yourself or your father or your mother, somebody can purchase. Check your model of your vehicle, check the engine specification. You will be having engine 4. After BS4 engine, they have launched BS6, not 5. After April 2020. Who has introduced this? Central Pollution Control Board. They set one standard that your engine should have this much of sulfur emission, this much of nitrogen emission. If they set a standard, soon the companies will also follow that, and they introduce the updated engine. Currently we are in BS6 engine, which is equivalent to Euro 6 engines. From April 1, 2020, all the engines which are being sailed, which will be having a BS6 engine, which will be equal to Euro standards. Have anyone visited this website? Year of engines. In 1991, the carbon dioxide emission, if a vehicle, a car is running 1 kilometer, how much of CO2 is exhausted? 14 grams. 14 grams per kilometer has been exhausted in 1991 for one vehicle. But currently if you purchase any vehicle, what is the CO2 emission per kilometer? 1 gram. Only 1 gram. Can you see the engine performance? before 33 years, if any vehicle is running 1 kilometer, how much of CO2 is exhausted? 14 grams. Now currently it is reduced to 1 gram. This has been achieved by providing standards. If the pollution control board is not providing the standard, this will not get improved. The emission of heavy diesel engine, which are given here, how much of CO and nitrogen oxide, particulate matter, etc. This is for heavy diesel engines. This is for emission norms for two-wheeler or three-wheeler. If you are having a two-wheeler, check your pollution certificate. If these values are not coming under, then it is called pollution. Even though you can show to the policeman that I have a pollution certificate, he will check with the norms. If it goes beyond that, then he will take you to the court. Why? This vehicle is creating a pollution. Can you see that? Two-wheeler or three-wheeler should have the emission standard under this criteria. Now, air quality index. Air quality index, an instrument I have shown you. These index are being introduced in order to check the human health. What are the human health parameters? Slight irritations, reducing endurance, respiratory problems will be there. If the air quality index are not met, this kind of problems might arise. Different countries have different air quality standards. India has one air quality standard. United States have their own air quality standards. It ranges from 0 to 500. Least value 0, highest values 500. So up to this range, they have set this kind of standards. What is that? Air quality index. So everybody cannot check this parameter. So in order to simplify, the board has given this air quality parameters for uses. So this is what I said. United States have 500 point scale. Now in Bangalore, can you see this is a map of Bangalore? In how many places you have this kind of air quality monitoring stations? These are all called air quality monitoring stations available in Bangalore. What are the other points you have? So can you see there? Is it visible? Okay. This is a real-time air quality analysis. This I have taken 11 AM today. Today's air quality of Bangalore is how much? 90. If it is 90, then it is what color? Yellow. Yellow color is moderate. You are in safe zone. Green is a good place. 0 to 50 is called good. It is a green color. 50 to 100 is called this moderate, yellow color. Currently we are in air quality index of moderate. So this is at which place? Silk board. So you can see at other places. Can you see in Bangalore at other places? What are the places you have green color? Ram only. This is an industrial area. Since we don't have air quality monitoring stations there, definitely you go towards Ramoli region, number of industries are there, no? Cement industries are there, metal industries are there. Here there should be an air quality monitoring station. Why? Because industries pollute more than vehicles, yes or no? So here fortunately we don't have air quality monitoring stations. That is why we can assume that we are safe. But there is no station here. That is what the reality. Can you see in Kengeri region, this is a Mysore Road region, we don't have any air quality monitoring stations. We have at other stations, BMT, City Railway Station. Can you see at railway station? Is railway station free from air pollution? Check what color is there. Yellow color, that is 61. 61 is okay. We are in safe zone, but green zones are there. Understand? So if you go to this website, real time monitoring they will be giving. So you can see PM 2.5. What do you mean by PM? Particulate matter, which is having 2.5 micron. Micron is 1 mm divided by 1000 is called micron. Okay. So this is what the range. So they have given in a map. Air quality will not be same throughout the day. It has some fluctuations. That is why you can see this fluctuation. Air quality fluctuation. How much of CO2, O3 is emitted. Now, at which time you have maximum emission? 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. At particular time only you will be having a high amount of emissions. So these are the points which will be verified in an emission system. What are they? Ground level ozone, particulate matter, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide. UV. Have you heard this? Ultraviolet range. Due to sunlight, sunlight also causes ultraviolet rays. Yes or no? If you are in a range of UH2, 3, you don't need to use UV. Currently, people are using moisturizer, no? Skin moisturizers they use. If you are in a place where you have UV 2 to 5, you don't need those kind of moisturizer. If you are there in a place where you have UV of 10, you should have skin care options also. Why? Because this ultraviolet rays affects the skin. So that is why you have to check for a particular place. If you are going there, you have to check the ultraviolet ranges also. About National Air Quality Index. So this is a air quality index which they have given in 5 ranges. Air quality data is a single number. By using a single color, you can check that either you are in a safe zone or under a polluted zone, you can check it. This comes under, they have given these ranges to good, satisfactory, moderately polluted, poor, very poor and severe. So these are the ranges, and if it does not comes under the limit, then it is called unhealthy environment. What are the things which will be taken in air quality index? PM10, PM2.5, NO2, SO2, etc. These things will be monitored. Yes. This is the overall range. If you are having in 0 to 50, good. Currently we are in yellow color, no? We are in yellow color. So, or light green in the sense 51 to 100. If the value is 51 to 100, we are in a satisfactory region. And poor and very poor, severe regions are, it might be 400 to 401. Have you checked anyone in India? You currently check which state is having a severe and very severe place. You can check those Delhi regions, Bihar. You can check that West Bengal regions are very much polluted. So in those areas, if you are existing, you might have severe issues of lungs, respiratory disease will come, and asthma, this kind of effects will come due to this. You can see silk board comes under 37 and pinia is under 94. So this is what today's class.